From our Chicago studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Samana Siddiqui. Our top story tonight. Israeli airstrikes have killed at least 71 people and left 106 wounded in the last 24 hours, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. In the latest strikes on southern Rafah, 11 individuals, including 5 children, were killed, raising fears of an impending ground invasion among the 1.5 million displaced Palestinians. The Israeli army's withdrawal from Nusayrat refugee camp in central Gaza left behind devastation, with the bodies of Palestinians amidst the destruction. According to Gaza's government media office, 75 people were killed, 348 were injured, and 100 others went missing during the Israeli operation in the camp. Emergency services are still searching collapsed buildings for more casualties. Over 13,000 housing units have been demolished in the area over the past 8 days. At least 33,899 Palestinians have been killed and 76,664 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza since October 7th. The death toll in Israel from Hamas's October 7th attacks stands at 1,139, with dozens of captives still held prisoner. The war has pushed 85% of Gaza's population into internal displacement amid acute shortages of food and medicine. Israel stands accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. An interim ruling in January ordered it to ensure its forces do not commit acts of genocide and guarantee that humanitarian assistance is provided to civilians in Gaza. Palestinian photojournalist Mohammed Salim has won the prestigious World Press Photo of the Year award with a poignant image of Inas Abu Ma'amar grieving over her niece's body in war-torn Gaza. 5-year-old Saleh was killed by an Israeli strike alongside her mother and sister. Salim's snapshot was taken at Nasser Hospital morgue in Khan Yunis. Reflecting on his award-winning moment, Salim emphasized its representation of the broader tragedy in the region. The photograph emerged 10 days into Israel's war on Gaza. Additionally, Palestinian journalist Mu'taz Zaiza gained recognition on Time magazine's 100 Most Influential People of 2024 list. This is for his documentation of life under the Israeli war on Gaza, which observers say provided crucial insight often overlooked by the international press. Google has fired 28 employees for involvement in protests against its $1.2 billion contract with Israel. The employees' identities remain undisclosed. In a statement, the workers called Google's CEO Sundar Pichai and Thomas Kurian, CEO of the cloud in question, genocide profiteers. The firings came after an internal memo cited violations of workplace policies. The protest against Google headquarters was organized by the group No Tech for Apartheid. They oppose Project Nimbus, a contract in which Google Cloud and Amazon Web Services provide cloud computing and artificial intelligence services for the Israeli state. No Tech for Apartheid condemned the layoffs, accusing Google of prioritizing profit over workers' concerns. A ProPublica report reveals that a special State Department panel advised Secretary of State Antony Blinken months ago to restrict arms sales to Israeli military units that have been accused of human rights violations. The panel's recommendations aim to disqualify a number of Israeli military and police units from receiving American assistance because of allegations of serious abuses. These include extrajudicial killings, accusations of the rape and torture of a teenager, as well as mistreatment of an elderly Palestinian American. The incidents in question primarily occurred in the West Bank before Hamas's October 7th attack on Israel. Blinken has not implemented the recommendation, despite mounting international criticism of Israel's war on Gaza. Protesters interrupted Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's testimony and demanded a ceasefire in Gaza. Austin, along with Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General C.Q. Brown, was testifying before the House of Representatives Defense Appropriations Subcommittee on Wednesday. This was in relation to the Pentagon's budget for fiscal year 2025. Protesters raised their hands painted in red and shouted, "Shame on you." Another, carrying a Palestinian flag, said, "Lloyd Austin, you are a liar. You lied to your nation about the genocide in Gaza." Subcommittee Chairman Ken Calvert ordered U.S. Capitol Police to remove the protesters. The committee stood in recess until police restored order. A group of British Muslims visiting Al-Aqsa Mosque in East Jerusalem report being forcefully removed and assaulted by Israeli forces. Witnesses recount being targeted during prayers at the Bab al-Rahma prayer hall, with accounts of physical violence, including being dragged, kicked, and intimidated. British nationals Raz Ahmed, Ismail Hassan, and Sayyid Ibrahim say they were inside Al-Aqsa compound on the left side of the Dome of the Rock. They said when they began praying, a man came and pulled them with force. Drawing attention to the fact that Muslims have not been able to worship freely in Palestine, Ahmed said Palestinians are facing such a situation every day. He said there is an open apartheid system being practiced in Israel. UK-based advocacy group CAGE condemned the incident and urged British authorities to take note of it. A giant billboard is calling for solidarity with Palestinians. It is seen along Highway 101 in California. The sign says stopping genocide is not anti-Semitic. By killing 14,000 innocent children in Gaza, Israel has outdone Hitler, says Turkish president. Details after the break, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. By killing over 14,000 innocent children in Gaza, Israel has already outdone Nazi leader Adolf Hitler, the Turkish president said on Wednesday. Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that with unconditional support from the West, Israel is carrying out massacres that are marks of shame in human history, both in Gaza and the West Bank, during his party's meeting in the Turkish parliament. Saying that no one can question Turkey's sensitivity to the Palestinian issue, Erdogan added that the Palestinian cause gave his life new meaning. Comparing the struggle of Hamas to the Turkish War of Independence over 100 years ago, Erdogan said, "We are well aware that there is a price to pay for saying this." Public confidence in key U.S. institutions, including the government, judiciary, and military, has sharply declined. That's according to a recent analysis by Gallup. Only 32% of Americans express confidence in their national government. Faith in the judiciary stands at only 42%. The U.S. military also witnessed a drop in confidence from 90% in 2021 to 81% in the past year. A decline in trust in churches and organized religion has also been noted in the survey. Media was also affected, with over 40% of Americans reporting very little confidence, particularly in newspapers and television. Experts say the decline is due to broader societal trends impacting faith not only in government, but also in churches, organized religion, and the media. On day 2 of Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York, 7 jurors were selected out of a pool of 96. The trial marks the first criminal charges against a former U.S. president. Amidst a somewhat contentious process, Judge Juan Merchan sternly admonished Trump for hostile behavior towards a juror. The judge expanded his gag order, prohibiting Trump from discussing witnesses and court personnel. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is seeking sanctions against Trump for violating the gag order. Trump faces 34 charges related to influencing the 2016 election by paying hush money through Michael Cohen. A separate hearing is scheduled next Tuesday in which Trump could be slapped with fines and the potential of jail time for future gag order violations. Jury selection will resume on Thursday with a new panel of 96 prospective jurors on deck. A total of 12 jurors and 6 alternates will ultimately be selected for the jury. The judge has ruled that all jurors will remain anonymous to the public and their addresses will remain unknown to the defendant for safety reasons. The Council on American Islamic Relations has denounced the dismissal of charges against a man accused of urinating on the doorstep of a mosque in Tennessee. Despite video evidence showing the act in the city of Chattanooga, charges of vandalism and indecent exposure have been dropped. CARE's Communications Director Ibrahim Hooper has criticized the swift dismissal. He cites a potential double standard and is urging authorities to take such offenses seriously. The Supreme Court has expressed skepticism towards the federal government's application of a felony charge stemming from the 2001 Enron scandal to prosecute about 350 Capitol rioters from January 6, 2021. During arguments, the court's conservative justices seemed unsure about narrowing the interpretation of the law that prohibits obstructing congressional proceedings. The court's ruling, which is expected by June, may impact the Justice Department's cases. That includes former President Donald Trump's case. Experts say it remains uncertain if there is a consensus on altering the statute's interpretation. Analysts say the debate among the judges highlights concerns about the fairness of prosecution and the unique nature of the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. That's all from our Chicago studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. Your support is needed more than ever to continue our mission of providing informative, educational, and inspiring content to Muslims in North America and around the world. Donate now by calling 1-800-432-4262. You can also use the Zelle app for easy payments by sending to info@soundvision.com or visit muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit muslimnetwork.tv. Salam and good night.